very different view of time. They are way more flexible in the way that they approach, time, and therefore that flexibility, informs the way that they perform tasks as well. So, for example, they can mix, a social activity or do business within a social activity. Or, for example, a meeting, they could spend about, an hour or so, going through niceties, going through, social, aspects, because the difference between, monochromatic and polychromatic cultures is that, you know, monochromatic cultures, as you could probably gain from the contrast that I made just now, is that monochromatic cultures tend to be a lot more individualistic. For example, you'll see that in northern and western European countries, they are way more focused on the person, whereas in polychromatic countries, like, for example, a lot of African, cultures, a lot of Middle Eastern cultures, and a lot of South American cultures as well, tend to be a lot more people focused. And so, because of that communal nature, because of that, that mixing of business and pleasure at the same time, they don't view time with the same strictness. And I think if you're somebody who's read the Bible, I think you can glean what culture, you know, and how that informs time as well. Like, for example, you'll read scriptures that speak about, at this time, but they don't mention what time that is, or after a certain time, or at this appointed time. You'll notice that, an example of a polychromatic cult, because if you don't know, most of the Bible is either written in Hebrew, Old Testament, and then the New Testament, depending on different scripts, was mainly written in either Aramaic, which is a Syriac language, Syria, modern day Syria, and Greek, both all cultures which are polychromatic. And because of that, the language can be very vague. Those languages are very vague on time, and you can sort of see it in the way that the Bible is written, that, they are not very specific on certain time periods. And so that informs the way that we look at time as well. And so